Okay, so last but not least, we have gas stoichiometry. Stoichiometry. So we're looking at the relationship between the reactants and the products. Okay. In gases, we're looking at the relationships between volume and volume. So of course we're going to be using ratios there, and then mass and volume. So when we look at mass and volume, we're going to use PV equals nRT, and then of course number of moles equals mass over molar mass. The easiest way to go about gas stoichiometry, of course, is by looking at examples. So I will walk you through a couple of examples and then see if you can try some on your own. So here we go. Ammonia produced in the following reaction. You have 12 liters of nitrogen reacts with hydrogen and at the same temperature and pressure. So the question would be, what volume of ammonia gas is produced and what volume of hydrogen gas would you need to use up all of the nitrogen gas? Don't forget, you have limiting reagents, reactants, so you have to take those into consideration sometimes. So basically, you're looking at the mole ratio. So, excuse me, you have 1 nitrogen would require 3 hydrogen to produce 2 ammonia. So if you have 1 nitrogen and you have 12 of it, okay, then that will produce 2 ammonia, 1 for 2, so then 12 means you would have 24 liters of ammonia. So 24 liters of ammonia would be produced. So that's just looking at ratios. What volume of hydrogen would you need to use up all of the nitrogen? Well, if 1 nitrogen, and you would need 3 hydrogen for every 1 nitrogen. So if you have 12 liters of nitrogen, then how many of hydrogen would you need? So 12 times 3 is 36. So you would need 36 liters of hydrogen. So that should be very basic. You're just looking at ratios, which, if you just look at the chemical equation itself, if you made this 12, then how, times 1, well then 12 times 3 and 12 times 2, and that's going to be how many you would need if you had 12 nitrogen. So on to something that's a little bit more difficult. Sulfuric acid reacts with iron to produce gas and an iron 2 compound. So we have sulfuric acid, H2SO4, reacts with iron, metal, which is a solid, to produce iron sulfate and hydrogen gas. You have to make sure that you understand how to do balanced chemical equations, because that is an important part, and if you're having trouble with that, then you need to make sure you review that. So given in the equation, the mass is 40 grams of iron. Molar mass, you can always calculate the molar mass of iron, and once you have the mass and the molar mass, you can calculate the number of moles. With hydrogen, remember, it's at 18 degrees Celsius, so we have the temperature. We always have the pressure, because this is STP, so 101.3 kilopascals, and you always know R, which is a constant 8.31. So the question is, and this is because we're dealing with a gas and we're looking for the volume of gas produced. So if we have the volume, mole ratio for this one is 1 to 1. So the number of moles of hydrogen for this one will be the same as the number of moles of iron, because it is that 1 to 1 ratio in the balanced chemical equation. So now we can use PV equals nRT. We're looking for the volume, we have the number of moles, we have the R constant, we have the temperature, we have the pressure. Substitute in your numbers, and it ends up with 17.3 liters. And basically, that's it. The course is done, and I hope you practice a lot of these questions, because it's like with math, practice makes perfect, and I wish you the best of luck. I've enjoyed the semester, and hope to see you around. Take care.